okusaako ensonga ezikwata ku bulamu bwammwe bya bufuzi, mateeka, bya bulamu n'ebirala ebikwata ku bulamu bwenga munnayuganda. Nze Kawesi Farouk nga bwe twabategeezezza nti tugenda beera ne Council Richard Kumbuga tubeeko n'ensonga zetuwayawayaamu mpola mpola. Council nsaba weyanjulira abatulaba tugende mu maaso. Tonyiso okulaba.
Abalabi baffe nsanyuse nnyo balaba mbabuuzaako musiibye mutya nga muganda wange Farouk bwagambye erinnya lyange nze Kumbuga Richard ndi lawyer ebintu byange mbikolera Mpinda era mbalamusizza mwebala emirimu gye mutuusaako engalo okuzaayo abaana ku masomero abatanaba kuzaayo tubasabira nti Mukama Katonda abawa akasente muzeeyo abaana bakuba eggwanga lyaffe emiti emito gye twesigamyeko ng'eggwanga hope yaffe eri mu baana bato tusaba Mukama abawe akadde abawa akasente mubazeeyo ku masomero.
Amin. Council, mu Uganda muno oba ne mu nsi yonna tulina amateeka types z'amateeka ziri mmeka?
Amateeka buli mu ggwanga gatera nnyo okubeera nga sigeegamu kisinziira ku ngeri ensi eyo yatandika etya culture yaayo kala amateeka galina bearing to a culture to belief ku economic stand of a nation nzo okwesanga ine like etteeka lya money laundering in Uganda ekiwanga limazeemu emyaka eziwera 2 waliwo edda twalinga n'etteeka mu Uganda the Witchcraft Act, the Nguli Act. But as of now, the
Nguli Act, Nguli has been alcohol.
And they have ceased to have a meaning. So they are no longer in operation.
Because the Nguli is now a business that even brings in the revenue.
So in 2003, again, they brought in the Tobacco Control Act. Just because they wanted to protect those people. naye ebyo bya bufuzi kibayinza okikola
nga kya bufuzi oba
embeera y'obufuzi essaawa eyeetagisayo naye si mbeera y'abantu yeetagisayo.
Kati amateeka ge bayisa mu palamenti gaawukana gatya negano because muba mu presenting nga wali mu referring ku constitution ogamba in the constitution etteeka ligamba kino ate mpulira n'eribiba amending
ate amateeka ekisookerako kyennyini constitution y'etteeka erisooka mu Uganda aŋŋambe yeetaata n'azaala abaana buli article kiba kisoboka nategese tubanyina okunyonyamu etteeka eddala lye banoonyaamu. Like for example enforcement of human rights act live almost from article 28 between article 20 to 44 around ne bagamba environmental act n'olaba nti bibeera ku article eri mu constitution nanga the parliamentary act nga libiiraawo nga police act lwakuba constitution eyogera ku police nebakolamu operationalizing muzungu kyebayita operationalizing that kind of act of the constitution. So all the laws we have in Uganda to have a bearing in constitution. It is the father, like yes, mulitokole ewaka olino kikola ng'omanyi kijja kupalisa taata oba taata ekitayagala lwakuba taata yabalowooleza. So that's the constitution.
Okay. Tuwuliddeko criminal law, civil law byawukana bitya?
Kati criminal law ne civil law ebyawukanira we one, and the civil law is always private. When kukole wompe sente zo ne successful, it's between you and me.
Farouk versus Kumbuga.
Kati Farouk versus Kumbuga mu by'ettaka ettaka liryo kwatagana na kyange
lyange
liryo omuntu nawe njagala okubba ettaka ndowooza lyange naye nze ndi mubbi. Ekitegeeza kati that's what makes it civil, judging between two individuals. Now etteeka erimu weba nga liri like in Uganda criminal law, it's Uganda versus the suspect.
Why Uganda? Omusango mbanguzizza ku Uganda yonna.
Nedda lwakuba Uganda eri supposed mandated okuuma ekitiibwa rights z'abantu ne welfare. Kati bw'ojjawo obulamu bw'omuntu oba n'omubbako ekintu kye kiba kitegeeza the security of Uganda
is responsible.
It's supposed to protect your property. So now gwe babbye
naawe anzibye ekuvunaanyizibwako.
Yes. Kati awo Uganda bw'eggiramu nti tulina okunoonyereza bano abantu bajja kuleeta kutataaganya emirembe mu nsi yaffe ate bye tukola bikwatagana ku kuleeta mirembe mu nsi. N'abanansi okukuuma emirembe
nti olaba bakikoze
wali okulaba nti emirembe ziri mu nsi omunansi kukuuma mirembe.
Kati waliyo ne Kenya versus so and so oba kirimu
ekyo kibeerawo oluusi ensi ewaabira nsi ndala nga like Uganda one time
kyengamba nti wano mu Uganda tulina Uganda versus Farouk.
Kati mu nsi endala mu Uganda kyandibadde nti DPP versus the suspect.
Yes.
Tinga DPP erina act. DPP ekolagana ku bumenyi bw'amateeka wabbye mwalwanye oli bamuse oli wakozebwa oli bamudefine bamurepinze DPP office ya DPP ebikolako. Naye kati sooka olabe mu another type of civil where the Attorney General of Uganda gwewawaabira gavumenti weba ekukozeeko ki ekibi omuntu wa gavumenti waba akozeeko ekibi oba gavumenti owawaabira Attorney General. Kati ebyenjawulo guli Steve naye lwakuba oyagala ngasi kuliyirira lwaki owawaabira omuntu oba owawaabira gavumenti yagala akuliyirira eddembe lye gavumenti yalirinyira oba omuntu wakola na gavumenti yalirinyira. Kati awo ng'owawaabira gavumenti kati gwe omuntu obuntu w'olinyirira eddembe lyange gwe mpawaabira oli gavumenti.
Era ne kkooti ezo zaawukana wa gyendoopa.
Ekkooti tezaawukana
zezimu gyendoopa criminal gyendoopa ne Kumbuga.
Yes, gyoloopa naye oluusi kisinzirira kati nga mu Uganda Kampala especially high court bajawulamu. Eno high court ewuliriza za criminal zokka. Eno high court ewuliriza family. Eno high court ewuliriza for land. Eno high court ya anti-corruption. Eno high court ya this. Naye bwe kijjanga emukono ebeeraawo kooti eri awo naye ewulira emisango gyonna oba Jjinja oba Mbarara oba kiri Arua buli ekizze naye kubeerako oluusi enjawulo bw'oba ng'oyagala to interpret the constitution. Etteeka ligamba ogenda ku court age emu mu Uganda esookerwako ye court of appeal etuula nga constitutional court. Awo n'ogamba nze mu kulaba okwange etteeka lino lityoboola ekitiibwa kya constitution. So njagala mukinyonyole bulungi mwabalamuzi oba mukiriziganya nange. Kati awo n'owawaabira kyebayita Attorney General awolereza gavumenti. Kati omuwoleza wa gavumenti aliwo okujja mu kooti n'agamba kituufu oba si kituufu.
Gwe muyita state walina kukola.
Naliko ogw'omusango ogwo olumu weya eddembe ly'omuntu lyali nga balityoboola netugenda na constitutional court. Then Attorney General n'agamba nze mu kulaba okwange kirabika ensonga yerimu ki obugumu egumba sijja akola ki kutawaana naawe mu kooti kituufu nkikkiriza.
Attorney General asobola okukkiriza?
Ayinza okukkiriza. N'agamba nti lino etteeka.
But viewers, they want you to speak English.
Kati oyo omwawabi wa gavumenti bw'omwawaabira ayinza okukkiriza nti kituufu. Bino tebakoze olwakuba oyinza okuwawaabira omwawabi wa gavumenti lwakuba waliwo office tekoze kati tyoboola ssemateeka. Kati ye Attorney General lwakuba muntu w'abantu akolerera nsi ayinza okusaba n'agamba kituufu that office kyeyakoze yatuyobodde ekitiibwa kyo. Sobola kujja mu kooti kujerimba nti teyakoze kituufu. Akkiriza.
Ayina okukkiriza. Counsel, when people are studying law, they specialize. Gwe obukugu bwo buliwa, where did you specialize?
Okustudyinga law terimu ku specialize. Musoma amateeka gonna. Tutuuka mu field.
Yes.
Gw'osalawo n'ogamba nti this kind of branch gye ndinamu nnyo
obukugu.
No clients. Because y'ofunye nnyo ba clients bangi. Y'okole nnyo emirimu abantu ne bakutegeerera omwo.
Naye nga you can also do the other one.
Naye ng'oyinza okola amalala. Kati nze kangambe nga nze bwe namala university ne ngendako mu law firm nembeerayo emyaka ng'ebiri bwe nava omwo ne nyingira mu office ya DPP. Kati office ya DPP ne nkola exposure ku criminal law. Lwakuba nali nga nze nga office ya DPP entesa awantu nendaba nga police files yangu nnyo kunze okugikolako yadde nzize nti omuntu bamuteeseko omusango guno nze omuwoleza lwakuba naliko eri na gained experience. Kati kikinga nendaba kinyanguwira nnyo okuwoza emisango egyo naye tekiba kitegeeza oli bamunyaze ettaka sisobola amuwoleza nze omuwoleza. Naye eno specialization ejja buzi within field but bw'oba osoma amateeka osoma subjects zonna. Kati gwe bw'otuuka eri waliwo balooya abamu n'agamba nze sisobola kupracticinga criminal saagala. Oli n'agamba nze ebintu ebyo bya divorce okusinza ku nzikiriza yange sibyagala lwakuba Katonda yagamba toyawulanga ekyo kyengassa awamu. Oli n'agamba bw'oba oyagala kukyawa mukazi oba bbaawo genda ku looya omulala ekyo sijja kikola. Naye waliwo balooya nga nze izo buli kyoleeta buli kyolako naye waliwo ebimu byesitakolako nnyo nengamba kino kiringa okugenda mu company register kuregistaringa kintu okugamba n'oyo omuntu ayinza okukikolako tutesebwa ssente n'olwoyo ono tulabe engeri gye tugenda okikolamu onakimaliriza. Naye bwe kituuka ku kooti nza okugamba kati wano njagendanga naye lwoyo ono yajja okukolako.
Counsel, simanyi obuzi ogoberera. I don't know if you've been following the case of late. He was a singer in Uganda and is well known. He's called Prince Job Paul Okello. I don't know if you've been following his family. They have some wrangles as a family. People are saying, some children are saying, you're not our brothers and sisters, you're not the children to our dad and all that. Even the other ones are accusing the other one that you're also not children to our dad. And then the end results are, let's pull out the bones of the late and then we get DNA, aren't all those wrangles coming because of a will, someone not doing a will, or when someone does a will, do you include the real children that you have and the number? And what is a will?
Anyway, echonga kyenkugambyeko okuva wali, like in Kampala bayawulamu makoti. Okay. Special High Court, Internal Family Court, Katrina Family Division. Naye webanga buli kooti erina omusango gw'eyinza okukozesa okusinziira ku buzito bwagwo mu ssente. Kati kyoyogeddeko ku family ya Kafeero kyo kifollowinga under family division. Oba bwe gwatugenda mu High Court baguteeka mu Magistrate Court neguwuliriza kusinza ku byobugagga by'omufu. Kati kooti netandika okutunulira mu nsonga eyo negamba ono yafa talina kiraamu, ono oba yafa ng'ekiraamu akirina. Kati that's what we call a will.
Okay.
Now, a will is a document detailing the wishes of somebody. He wants what to be done after his death.
Okay.
In most cases, people who write the wills are those who have property,
okay,
who wish that when I leave this world, there should be unity in my family. But there are many causes of disunity in the family. So sometimes when you write this document,
okay,
when you write this will, it will help you, not your home not to be guided by the laws only, but also to be guided
by public
and by the public, but to be guided by your wishes, what you inculcated in your children before death, and probably your wife or wives, plus those people were depending on you. I will kwegamba. That's why even sometimes on the grave, batira okuwandikako obugambo omugenzi bwe yateranga nnyo kwagala mu bulamu bwe.
Okay.
Ne bamuziika mu ngeri nti ono yafanga musiraamu, ono yafanga mukatoliki, ono yafanga muprotestant, ono yafanga mulokole. Bamuziikira mu ddiini, this kind of deen, this kind of belief,
religion.
So a will comes in to help solve the would-be problems maybe during the burial. Two, abano let's ever make like kyogambyeko Kafeero, abantu bagamba nti in Kafeero waliwo abaana bagamba ngo toli mutabane wa Kafeero, you are not a daughter to Kafeero, where you are like this. So a will helps you to solve that problem if you also know your children. There are some men or women who commit adultery to the extent that you may not know that I have a child.
Is it possible for you not to know that?
Yeah. If so like in a day or in a month you have slept with 5 women who are not married to you, is it possible you impregnated them?
But I guess if you're sleeping with that woman, you get to know that I might have done something that might cause.
But you see, in African culture, you may sleep with somebody's wife. You don't want to break their marriages. Now this woman to come and break your marriage, she also doesn't want to break your marriage. So she will keep quiet. The day when you are married, he says, no, look, I slept with that man on a certain day. Even the child is here. So the Sengas and the Kojas plus other people who are familiar to this family, they will look at resemblance and say, this child surely belongs to this family. Look at the resemblance. Before you go for DNA test, DNA is a recent thing, but in Africa they used to look, they would call the elders to look at this child.
They look at the ears.
Yeah, or even if you're a grown man or woman, they look at you, the ears, the accent, the dovozi, the moon, the legs, this one, it is true. Hey.
Okay.
So a will helps in many ways. However, let me begin like this. There are many types of wills.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to.
Yeah.
Do we have types of will?
Yeah, there is a will in English called privileged will.
Privileged
Will.
will.
Then there are these wills that are unprivileged. A privileged will is this one that you can draft or make an oral will. Ebigambo byo byogedde nti muganda wange Faruku nkutegedde gino myaka 2 tulinaako kika tulinaako naye ngenda mu lutalo bweba ngeze mu lutalo n'abaana aba basatu omukazi ogwo kati webifiireyo mu lutalo okomawo n'obuulire bewaka on'omugenzi bwe yali agenda ku lutalo no yangamba nti alina abaana basatu.
How do we trust that someone?
Yeah, now that someone, how you can trust it, you verify information. Has he ever been his friend? Have you ever seen him? They are working together or walking together. How close has he been? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes, as you are going to the war, you are speaking to your boss. Your boss has deployed you.
True.
So your boss comes on the barrier and says, this man, as he was going to the war, he told me that he has 3 wives. Their names are blah blah. Out of those 3 wives, he has 6 children. One has 1 child, another one has 3, another one has 1. You are getting? So, he'll speak all. Or sometimes they write cheats. So, those on small papers gives the boss. After giving the boss, they, of course, some people are familiar with his handwriting.
True.
Others are called mariners. They live on water. Every activity is on water, is on the seas, on what. So anytime he gets an accident on the sea, somebody says, look, before you bury him or after the burial, this is what he told me. So that's a privileged will. It can be written, but it will not follow all the formalities of writing a will. It may not follow. Or it can be oral information. So that is a privileged will. Then the unprivileged will be gwenange. Oli farmers and the doctor, or is a driver, this one is a doctor, like that. You have to write down and follow the rules.
Person.
Yes, governing writing a will.
Okay.
You have to, your name, where your address, the property you have, the debts you have.
Wait, it has procedure.
Yes.
Which is
you begin by your name. This is my name, I so and so, I'm writing this will on this date. And the following are my children. The following are adopted children, in case you have. The following are my wives or my wife, or my husband. The following are my dependent relatives. Mama wange ne tata bali eyo mu kyalo nze mbadde mbalabirira.
Okay.
So you write. Then the following are the properties they are acquired.
Okay. You put everything. Your clothes.
This is how I want to be buried. Hey. I want to be buried, so and so to bury me.
So and so should not come.
But again, there you're going too far. If you say so and so should not come, it may be unreasonable.
I thought I have a right.
You have a right.
Not step on my.
You may have that right that so and so should not come, but you are going too far. You should have a limit. It should be reasonable.
Okay.
In the public, because even if somebody hurt you, they expect you to have forgiven that person.
But then I give a crucial reason.
Yeah, you give.
Left with my wife.
Yes.
Therefore, he shouldn't come because even Ibra, who is well known as a son to me, I realized that he is his son.
Yes.
Haven't you ever had this?
I know he hurt you. He hurt you, but it becomes unreasonable for you to put it there because there is no sin that is not forgivable before God. Even in African culture or in other people's culture, they want always to forgive each other. That's how a society can move. So if you say such words, you are a little bit deviating from the real norms of that culture,
of our African culture.
African culture like that. So it becomes unreasonable to say I hate the following people.
should not appear.
Or even I love the following people.
Even loving you can't include.
You can. I mean, you can. You can even say hate the following people, but it's not. You mind the cause for it's not good.
Okay.
You love the following people. You can just mention the following are my beneficiaries. I have given to the mosque this property. I have given to this church this property. The children who are living on Oluomo Street, I have given them this.
Okay.
But the problem, you have to specify how many children are living there. So it becomes unreasonable for you to say the children living on Oluomo Street. How will those people who are enforcing your will know their number and their names?
Because I might also come and I'm his son, I'm living at Oluomo Street.
Not necessarily you must be his son. His wish is that those children living on the street,
the street
they should benefit. Yes, the street kids, they should benefit in the will.
Okay.
You can write your will and you say, I want street children to benefit in my will.
Okay.
You remember in the Bazungu, sometimes they even say that this kind of property should go to my dogs.
Someone.
Whoever is keeping the dogs is the one who knows how you keep your dogs using your money.
And someone divides his property to a dog.
Yes. You see, and the reason why people, those developed nations, they give like to dogs. People around you are not interested in your property. They are rich.
They also have.
Yes, imagine you have died at 90. A very wealthy man. You married at an early age, meaning your son is 70.
Yeah.
If your son also married at an early age, the grandchild is at 50.
He also did.
And now also the grandchild has a grandchild who is 20. So all these people, the first 3 generations are not interested in your property.
Okay.
Then the fourth generation is saying, I'm not related to him. But does not bother whether you are related or not. So at the end of the day, and they are aware of, they are not interested. So what do? You say, I've given to the other church, to the other mosque, to the other orphanage, to the other what, like that.
Okay. So in Uganda, people have a tendency that to write a will, you must be rich. Not to write a will, you must be bedridden. People have a tendency that when I'm writing a will, it is a confirmation that it is death.
This will be my answer to that. It is just within people's mind. Like those who write a will and say, should never sell my land. You want to be in the grave, at the same time you manage the affairs of the living. How you are doing?
So, am I right to say that I should not, because you said it is my right, it is my property.
Yes, it is your property.
I should never sell my land. Am I not right?
You are dead. You are dead. Why do you want to manage the affairs of the living? Let your wishes be reasonable. I heard a story that the Texas of today belonged to a woman called Navata.
Okay.
In case you wrote a will and said you should not sell my land, you mean the government of Uganda would leave one family to own all that land?
Is it illegal?
It's not illegal.
We have people who are having.
But supposing they don't have, but we live within the capital city. Supposing they don't have money to develop it.
Do you know how much land?
Do you know why Kabaka Muteri have? Yes, those are things of another government. Kabaka, before Uganda became Uganda, it was a nation coming to the old. So whatever property they are owning, they are almost owning it as a state within a state.
Oh.
So,
not as an individual.
Not as an individual. Like, for example, Wampeo Avenue, I believe maybe it belonged to somebody called Wampeo. You're getting? Now he says you should not sell the land. So meaning that the property would be open, no development at all. My advice to people is that if you are writing a will, let it be reasonable. You just encourage people, maintain probably this property, make sure it is revolved. But in case you are hard up, and use it the way you want to use it. Me, I will be dead. What do I need to do with the baby?
So we will still
At a certain stage, as long as you're writing a will, just to know that your wishes will stop being relevant.
you have died.
Certain generation, you have died. Like for example, at a certain stage, we had very few private schools. But these days, the majority are private school. Like for example, you have children. You say that all of my children we belong to Anglican community, communion. But after 5 generations, all religions might be there, even pagans, those who don't believe that they exist. So when you're writing a will, it should be reasonable.
Okay. Should cater for other generations.
Yeah, it should almost cater. So it don't be rigid. Whether you say you don't sell, they will sell.
Okay.
So why are you putting those?
Maybe they say you don't sell where I am. There are those who say where I am buried, don't remove me and all that. But we've seen graveyards being cleared.
But are you aware
in
that
Kampala?
That, like for example, Kampala Road, at a certain point, maybe in 1800, there was maybe 3 families owning it.
The whole of Kampala?
Kampala Road, I mean
Kampala Road.
Hey. Now, if they had left the graves because of a will,
the whole of Nakasero was one person.
Maybe it was.
Where would we have the state house?
Where would we have? And you are saying the grave shouldn't be transferred. That's why I'm telling you. Let the living manage the issues of the living and let the dead be dead. It's like people who say, when I die, my wife should not remarry. When you die, have you gone with her sexual feelings? You remain a human being.
What now? She's
when
my
a
wife.
man is after 1 week, or 1 month, or 2 years, just leave it blank. It has to be said. If I die, my husband shouldn't bring another wife in this house. For you are dead. Why do you want to manage the affairs of all the feelings of your surviving?
We went to church, we went to the
you remember even the Bible tells you, this, that has part. The contract has ended upon your death. So leave the person to enjoy life. Those are unreasonable clauses within a week.
Wait for him in the year after.
As long as you are dead, it's okay. Like for me, I tell people, that if I'm dead, even if before my wife wants to have sex, let her have.
You speak it confidently.
Yes. If she wants to marry within my house, let her marry.
Would you
control her?
Would you love your wife to go with your brother after you die?
Whoever she wants, not necessarily my brother. Because
there are cases where someone says, nagenda mu family
their wishes, but for me, I want to be as liberal as possible. When I die, I should die once. I should not die at the same time manage the affairs of my family.
When you are dead.
Hey, why should I manage the affairs of the living when I'm dead? I shouldn't be happy with somebody who writes like that. Not put restrictions on the surviving spouse. But you can advise me. And you see, when you advise me, it's upon me to take your advice. If I find the advice not relevant, please let me do. So, the public shouldn't castigate me because my father said you shouldn't sell, and they said that's an disobedient child. My father died. Now I have a need of school fees or hospital. Shouldn't I sell a cow to go and treat my child because my father said let these cows accumulate to 500,000 in a number?
So for the case of Kafero, there are those that lived with him. They have been coming all along saying, this is a son, this is a what. But of course, even them, they are not sure because they don't know where the dead passed. Even some claim that he had many
Yes.
Even some claim there is one of his friends said, you know, Okello, I don't want to say this, but he used to love people who are married, women who are married. So that comes back to what you've told us, that someone doesn't want to spoil someone's marriage, but then impregnate the what? The wife when he doesn't, you know. There is what we call okubonyabonya eddembe ly'omufu. Can I go to court and I ask it and it allows me to pull out my father's bones so that we test DNA?
Yeah. If you go without a court order, there is a section in the Penal Code Act. Disturbing the peace of the dead is an offense.
They also have peace.
That the dropped person. I don't know whether the dead have peace because I've never died. I'm still alive. So I believe those who drafted, they think there is peace for the dead in the grave. So if you remove the grave, you are disturbing their peace.
Down there, where there is darkness and where water.
So those are sentiments of the draftsperson of the legislation. But the issue is that just saying, just respect that person where they buried it. Just respect. Even if it be big, but respect the grave.
Okay.
So, that's when, if you live a morally upright life and you write a will, it reduces the conflict.
Okay.
Now, even if you live the life of sexual immorality, kind of, if you live a will, it can solve the majority of the problems. You may not know how many children you produce if you've been sleeping around with many women or men. But at the same time, if you write a will, it will solve the majority of the problem.
Okay.
Like, for example, you can say, I have some children, I don't know the number. So, if somebody comes, subject him to DNA, if he or she is claiming to be my child, hey, subject the person to DNA. These days, the technology has helped us on that issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So my advice is, if there is a will, it solves all those problems.
I think they do not have a will, because if they had it, you wouldn't even see it in Namibia. Because they have had a lot of conflicts for now, like 5 years.
Those are even a few, others are 20 years. They're in court. They're all applying. Others are applying to manage the estate of the late. Others are applying to be considered children. Others are applying to be considered adopted children. Others are applying to be considered dependent relatives. Because before this person died, I was totally depending on him. But sometimes it's almost between you and that person who died. He was paying all your school fees, hospital bills, clothing, accommodation, without telling anybody. You're getting it. So if you write a will, you can indicate those people. And if you write it properly, it must be witnessed. Every page must be signed, it must be sealed, and if you write, you don't write one copy, you may write like 4 copies and you distribute them to different people. So on that day, all those 4 people will bring those copies. If somebody tampered with it, they will ask if it's one person out of the 4, they will ask, but all of us, they read. The copies are similar. How come that yours is not similar to us?
Yeah.
So if you are writing a will, don't write one copy. Let them be many copies. You give to people you trust. Sometimes it's the bank. In most cases, religious leaders are trusted. In most cases, the elders, friends, and elders in the village or town. You trust them, a lawyer. So you don't leave a copy with your lawyer alone.
Because they say nowadays lawyers,
you are corrupt. Lawyers are as bad as families because they come from families. So it's not the lawyers are as bad as the families in Uganda. They come from families. Even highway robbers, at a certain point, they belong to a family. So the values they are instilling in this child will determine what this person will be in the future. At the end of the day, whether lawyers are bad or doctors are bad or engineers are bad, goes
It
back.
comes back. Charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home. When you hear politicians are bad, charity begins at home.
Okay.
Yes. But let the child, if in case wants to deviate from what you have taught the child as a parent, let him or her deviate, but when you cultivate good morals. Sometimes at a certain stage, this person will come back and say, my dad died at 8, now I'm 30, but you tell me I can behave like this. They go back to that good life. Okay? In a will, the if is, it should be drafted in a reasonable way. Then, some people give property before they die. So if you are given a gift to a child or somebody, your spouse or whatsoever, it shouldn't be a will. Because it's a gift.
But then, you see, I know a family in Okello where a man gave his beloved son 1 acre of land.
And when he was still alive.
Yes. And that is where the son used it to stay, and even married on that land, produced on that land, when even the father was still alive. But then when he died, the siblings asked him to bring the written document.
Showing that it was given.
Yes.
You see, sometimes people give without documents. But the most important thing as a family, you want peace.
Are they still working in this society?
At the end of the day, ask yourself, what was the conduct of our father towards our brother when he was still alive using this land? Was he giving him instructions? Or my brother would have given a right to hire out to other people and my father would not complain? So there are circumstances that can show you, much as you think this person was not given, that can show that this person actually was given. Now, if you write a will, it solves that.
That is what I was going to ask.
If you write a will, you say, the other property, I gave it to my son, or to my wife, so and so, and these are the reasons why I gave. And therefore, in the will, I have not given him. Because for him, he has already a share.
I thought.
Yes.
Okay. Is it, can I give him again?
You can, but other people will feel offended.
No.
Because you gave him while you were still alive.
Then
some you have not given.
Yes.
Now again in the will, you are saying he has to share. Maybe if at all what you gave him does not amount to the not entitlement. That's but where you give the other 20%, this one give him 18% because he has the other share you give him while you are still living.
Okay.
That's when a will is totally respected. With everything you come up and give a reason. Okay. And this one, I'm refusing to give him or her because of A, B, C, D. And you see, when you state those reasons proper, the society will know that actually is right. I've ever heard of it.
Some people say, I've not given my son so and so because at one time he gave me poison.
That's the reason. Because if you have been my enemy, and that poison was established, was given by my son, or my son is the one who has killed me, the law is the effect that you not allow somebody to benefit from his sins. If you give your father for purposes of property or for another motive,
he has delayed to die.
Then you are not supposed to benefit from his will or his property. Even
but I'm your son.
Yes, but you are evil. The law does not allow you to benefit from your evil acts.
And the law?
That's what the law says.
Okay.
If my son has never behaved in a way that he wants to kill me, I will write. I reported to police. And this day, he brought thugs, he robbed me. And now he's in the hiding. But the thugs I report.
Okay.
The betting. So the people will say, this is true. He reported. They will bring and verify at the police.
Even the police has the file.
Even the police has the file. You have ever sat with the family plus the neighbors and elders of the community, and you are saying, my daughter is behaving like this. Can't take away my life.
And even the daughter one day slapped you in between of the meeting.
Exactly. So that one is justifiable. But if you give a reason that is not justifiable,
That I don't trust whether it's my son.
then the issue will be they subject him to DNA.
Okay.
If you don't trust him, why shouldn't you trust? You should have told him that I don't trust you as the son. Therefore, ask your mother who is the father when you are still living. But you don't write a will and disqualify me on that ground. I will petition court.
Oh.
I will petition court. Even if all the majority of the beneficiaries of the will, you are 50, me I'm one. I petition court and I say, let's go for DNA.
Okay.
They will give me property if I qualify to be his son.
That is what the family of Okello is in. Those wrangles of the other side accusing this side of more.
Not only the family of Okello. Many families.
It is known. That is why it has come into.
It is known. Many families are like that. Sometimes people are they are fighting just because of greed, not necessarily that the late was a bad person, never controlled you or what. Greed. That is eating you up, such that it obstructs you from doing the right thing. So a will settles all that.
How much powers does a hair, the popularly known as Omusika, has on a daddy's riches?
Now, there we are deviating from a will.
Oh.
We are going to a place where somebody dies without a will, and that is called intestate.
Oh.
If you die without a will,
That is where a hair has.
Where you are hiding. So, regardless whether they are put in a will as a hair, you see if you are here, they are saying we are entrusting you with this property.
Not to sell.
No. For the benefit of the beneficiaries.
Oh.
If you're part of the beneficiaries, you are also part of the beneficiaries. So you do everything with the consent of all the beneficiaries.
In other words, the custodian.
He's the mere custodian. Like in the way you see the government of Uganda is the trustee of all properties that belong to the later.
Okay.
So that's why you see somebody is waking up one day is suing the government for misusing a certain swamp. Look, you're saying I'm a Ugandan, I'm entitled to this, to see that this swamp is maintained, but the way they are using it, I've gotten impact assessment report from those who qualify to in this area.
The Ugandan.
Yeah, so I'm a Ugandan. I'm a beneficiary. So I'm saying what the government is doing is wrong. So you go to court and the government and the court settles out that issue.
Okay.
Otherwise, in a will, you see now in Uganda and in Africa, according to the custom, they can, like for me, if I die, I can still let my brother, okay, I have died without a will. The family sits and says, let the native brother manage his family. And we go to court, he gets the letters of administration. Now there you are purely an administrator. So you administer this property or his estate for the benefit of those who qualify to benefit. You got a beneficiary. But the problem has been that if I die and my brother has the letters of administration, when he is making a will or he dies, his children think that they are the heirs to the property of also the late of his late brother.
Okay.
Which is wrong. It should be like this. If you die and you are the holders of letters of administration for my estate, you are my brother, then my family should sit and select another administrator. Your children should not benefit your wife or your dependents.
Because you are just a custodian.
You're just a custodian, they just trust them. So you cannot pass on your property, on my property to your children.
Okay.
That you benefit. But in Uganda, when you have letters of administration, you think you have the powers to say, to use the way you want. That's abuse. And you can go to court or report that person to revoke the powers.
What if as soon as my brothers died and I go, I run, when people are even still crying on a vigil, I'm in the state or in court changing the papers into my name.
That is fraud. They call the fraud that these people will run back at court or will even take you to police or under fraud.
But the police will say, bring the evidence that is not the owner.
Yeah, they will bring evidence.
Yet is the one with the evidence.
Regardless. You see, they may believe in this theory, set the truth in the public to defend itself.
Okay.
So if the police is not corrupted in any way, they will investigate the logical conclusion of this matter, they go to court, and if court is also independent, it will pass judgment and they say, you man, you are wrong. Okay. This was not your property. They just give you letters of administration to manage.
Okay, so in other words, a will is...
I was on the issue of still a will. Sometimes, as a family, you can have your wives or your wife. And this property is in the name of you as a husband plus your wife. Now, when you're adopting a will, in law, that is joint property. It's not supposed to be in the will.
Okay.
If that property at the time of death you have a will is in the name of husband and wife. So when you're adopting a will, that property is supposed to live out.
Okay.
Yeah. And also it's wise that the matrimonial where you are sitting, where your wife or your spouse, maybe the wife has died first, but sometimes they say it's husband died first. Let me use that thing because that's what people believe in. That's the husband.
But that is what is happening in Uganda.
Well, I don't know, but according to research, husbands die faster than the wives. So that property you are in joint control with your wife. It's not supposed to be on the will. Does not form part of the will, the estate of the late. So if it is there, it's there by mistake. It's supposed to be brought back.
Okay.
Yes.
So where does it go?
That property, if you have still one wife, because the law says, unless there is an issue, if you die, automatically, the surviving spouse takes over.
If I have spouses.
If you have spouses, they sit down and they choose who is the administrator. Or all of them to be administrators.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so in summary, writing a will is such an... At what age does someone write a will? Do we have an age or...
Those are
16
those are the things somebody should consider while writing a will. But the law says if you are 18 years and above, 2, you qualify to write a will. 2, if you are mentally okay. But if you are not mentally okay, there are some people who have mental issues or mental challenges. They think that sometimes they are perfectly normal.
Hey, but someone sounds normal, looks normal, but
for 60 months.
But
then 1 month of the year is ill. It's a challenge. Like you having malaria.
Okay.
At the time when you are having malaria, you are not supposed to write a will.
A mere malaria?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Supposing it has affected your mental faculty.
What if it doesn't?
If it doesn't, then it's okay. Do you know there is malaria that affects the brain?
Yeah.
So you are not supposed to write if there is anything. If there is a problem with your head.
Okay.
Whether it's by the mind of the disease, the disease, your brain is affected by a certain disease. So you wait till you're okay. Or I need your influence. That unless you give me this property in the will, you're not. I'm going to do A, B, C, D. Through coercion. If you don't draft a will and sign it like this, I'm going to divorce you. So you write a will. because you are fearing the divorce.
Okay.
You're getting it.
So how do you confirm with the court that I was forced?
Because of course for you are not there. For you are not there. But you see there are circumstances that will show that there was a force. Like for example, you have 4 wives. In the will, the majority of your property is in the name of the children of the wife, or one wife and her.
Okay.
They require the will. That this must have been influenced by this wife. Besides, on the deathbed, she was there ever.
The other 3 husbands are not included.
They are not included. So they say, he must have drafted it at the time when he was sick, when you were not there. Of course, when you're drafting a will, none of the beneficiaries is supposed to be the witness or to know the contents. If they know the contents of the will, then it becomes a valid will. Or to sign on it.
I thought I called them, my sons, my daughters, my wife sit there.
No.
Kumbuga has given you the Najimu Mall. You have given you this.
It is illegal. You are supposed to be at the most top secret level.
They should not know the property I'm having.
They know, but how you have distributed it, they shouldn't know. Yes, in case that information leaks, I advise that you draft another will.
But then you're saying that it should be distributed equal. Why should they know?
That's why I'm saying, if it's not equal, like for example, a will, if you have children, these are still school going, others finished have jobs. When you are drafting a will, these ones who are young you're supposed to care for them more than the others. So you qualify that the reason why the other property and the other one I gave these 4 children is because at the time of drafting, they were aged 4, 6, 7 years. While the others, they were already married and having their own property and finished to educate them.
I have a friend who told me his dad made a will that to share the property, the last born has to have first made 36. But by the time that dad died, the last born was 4 years.
Yes.
The last born now is 36 years to go.
So, at the end of the day, when you're writing a will, it should be in a balanced form, not biased in a way, such that it does not leave any conflicts behind. Because if you write it in a way that is biased, still those who are living are going to challenge it in court for many reasons. Maybe it was obtained by fraud, by influence, by coercion, by sickness.
Now, what if I have a huge land and I say, you know what, all my land in Chigo, all my 50 acres, because I'm a godly person, I love God, I've given it to church, so and so.
Now you have to give reasoning. You don't leave.
My reason is I'm godly.
No,
none of my children should get any piece of land.
You even in the Bible says in Proverbs, I've forgotten the chapter, the wise man leaves inheritance for his children's children. It does not cater for your children, but also for your grandchildren.
It is the same Bible
so
that says sacrifice for God.
Yes, sacrifice for God. But meanwhile, if you are living for your family, that's also sacrifice to your family. Because instead of eating and enjoying that money, you decided to invest that in the future your children who are also going to benefit. And remember, your children are also created in the image of God. The church is a building, and your children also form part of the church. So the first responsibility, listen, the first responsibility as a human being, God has put to you, to your family.
Okay.
Then that's second. In fact, it's a mistake to say either the mosque is first or church is first. It is your family first.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because God also lives in your family. You mean it is from controlling your family? No. Where does the church begin from? At home. At home. The first church is at home.
Where?
The church is where all of you gather on a Sunday or Tuesday. But the first church is at home. And this is also Paul simplified. He said, you and me, we are the temples of the Holy Spirit. Meaning you and me, we are the church.
Okay.
the first priority for every human being is to make sure that your family is okay. That's why even the Bible says eternity belongs to the church.
Okay.
Then 90% your family.
Oh, that's where the eternity came in.
Yes.
Okay.
Because your first duty is for your family. Then the rest come in.
Okay.
Like a church, like a charitable organization, like a patient in a hospital, like somebody who has ever pleased you well, and you say, because when I was young, so looked after me well, so when I die, this person should benefit from my property. So those that come after. That if you get all your property and give it to the church, your children will challenge the will and they will be right.
So if I have one child and I have 2,000 acres, 1,000 to the child, 1,000 to church.
That might be okay.
That might be okay.
The principle of the Bible is that the church had to take 10%. So they will ask you when the church begin taking 10%. So we can go back at the other place that it must be reasonable. Whatever you are doing in the will, that peace prevails. Meanwhile, when you are writing the will, you must make sure that your interest is peace.
Okay.
And respect your wishes. Don't put there the clauses or statements that are full of bias, and you think the living will respect your wish.
Okay.
Hey, you don't just say, I'm so godly, I'm next to God, so the church, I'm clear. Your godliness, your godliness is determined at home, not at church.
How you treat
let me ask you, what church did Abraham belong to?
God.
He didn't have. He was praying alone and his family. What church did Moses belong to?
Even Adam.
But the Bible tells us that every evening and every time Adam had fellowship with God.
Actually,
and the Eden meaning the presence of God. So, wherever you are, where 2 or 3 are meeting, they are the church. That is the church. So now, the concept of maybe theft comes in, that you want to steal your own property, to give it to the church.
Is that stealing?
Much as it's not stealing, I'm using theft in court.
In courts.
You are getting it. You are taking majority of your property to church just because you want to please the public. You are getting it. So almost theft in court.
You're leaving your children to suffer.
And you see, I believe on the judgment day, leaving the judgment, whether you are qualified or not, but God will ask you, I gave you a family, what did you do with it? How did you pray? Then the second thing, I gave you a church or a mosque to manage, how did you treat it?
Okay.
Then the second thing, I gave you powers. I advised you to look after the orphans and the needy. Did you do that to the widows?
Okay.
Yeah. So those are secondary things. The widows, the needy, the orphans, the strangers, the kids. Those are secondary obligations to you as a human being. Okay. But the first one is pure. That's why Paul says, if you do not care for your family well, where is your faith? Your faith is dead.
Okay.
So, that's a will.
First, I want us to leave the will, and we talk about maybe producer. You can see there are questions there concerning the will, and you tell us as we continue. And we continue, but council wants some break. Producer. Sorry? It's already time. Let council have some break. We come back and we summarize. Yes.
JBS TV, Community First. JBS TV, Community First. JBS TV, Community First. JBS TV, Community First.
Or finalize with land. We have a lot of conflict in Uganda regarding land. And before that, people have appreciated you about the will.
That's good.
Many of them, they did not know the procedures. Many of them did not know because they thought you have to be bedridden and all that. So they have appreciated. I have a scenario about land. Someone is on what we call a kibanja. What procedures under the law does someone go through to own a title when he has a kibanja?
Thank you. That question of land law belongs to Uganda only.
Okay.
Uganda region. The rest of the regions, they have other. There is nothing like Chivanja. Then there is the Taka.
They are only here in Uganda.
They are only in Uganda. That's how those people drafted the 1998 Land Act came up with. But somehow it has created more conflict. Imagine you are owning land and these are 400 acres. But out of 400 acres, 394 is being occupied by tenants or Vivanja holders. Now, meaning you are remaining with 6 acres.
True.
Why don't you just tell the public you own 60 acres? No. Because you can't chase them. Neither can you use it. So it is flattered according to me, it's mockery. For me to have a title saying 400 acres, but I own only 60 acres. It is flattered. I can't use it. I can't do what? Can't do what? So if I'm a landlord in such circumstances, I enter into agreements with these people. And say, people, mwegule, mutaka like how the law allows. Those that are regular, those who are still at the matter, I will still wait for you, but I'll give you an opportunity to buy yourselves.
This money that is paid by those owning Vivanja.
That is the flattery. Look at how much per year. Imagine you are owning 50 acres and they are paying me 10,000 a year. Is that reasonable? Because you are my tenant.
It isn't.
So what was the purpose of this Land Act? Why was it aimed at Uganda? So you need to ask the parliamentarians by then, what were they cheering? What were they cheering? But the reason is, to me, is that Uganda, that's where the capital state is. Everyone wants to settle in Uganda.
Okay. So should we build another capital city to...
even if you build, it has already been taken by invents.
Okay.
So the Chivanja holder, the Taka holder, that kind of arrangement has facilitated more conflict. I wish they revisit it in another way. But the problem is, you, the land owner, you have a title, but you might be even the poorest among the people on that very land. You cannot buy it.
The Vivanja people are more rich than you.
Yes. So that's why I ask myself, you having a title at home is just an emotional attachment. But the most important thing is occupation.
Okay.
What are you using this land for? Is it generating income? So you're having the 400 acres, but you're using 60 acres. The balance is not generating anything for you. It's generating for others. So just your emotional attachment that you own 400 acres, but the physical acres you own, they are 6.
Okay.
So I would advise still in those circumstances, landlord, legalize those people because you cannot chase them away. The law prevents you from chasing them. It allows you only to legalize them in case they want. Again, you don't force them to legalize themselves. 2, you cannot sell that very land, 400 acres, to somebody unless it's also a fraudster. That I'm selling the 400 acres that have tenants. You are your holder.
Okay.
And yet, where after buying, you cannot also chase them away. So what are you buying? So people have to be patient with this land at that question. They feel more conflicts than before. But however, with or without this law of Chivanja and tenant relationship, whatever, land owner and Chivanja and so on, even in places without Milo land and so on, there are conflict. Where is the genesis of this conflict? The genesis is that we are evil. As human beings. Why do you change the boundaries? Murulu gwenyini. Why do you change the boundaries? And in most cases, these land issues, people
who is changing?
Anybody evil will come and change the boundary mark. Oh, anybody evil will come and sell my land without me knowing. Will hold out to be the owner. They're getting it. And you see these people will bring even people around it to say, he's the owner. But these the so-called owners, they are telling you he's the owner. They are not even part of that village. So when you are buying land, you have to be too careful. After maybe that big meeting with other people to qualify whether they are the owners, what, you also come secretly and begin to visit family per family and ask, is it true Jonathan is the owner? Is it true? Is it true? Is it true?
Because there are people who come even and start destroying people's food, people's property. I remember, I don't know if it is true, in a place called, if I'm not mistaken, in a place called Indeva, a man called Dodo broke a church, destroyed it, claiming that where it was, it is his land.
But you see, all that, I will not blame him because his claim was it was land for my father. So I will take you back to the will. If the father had written a will and read it publicly and the other land had given it to the church, the son wouldn't. 2, majority of these communal organizations or establishments, they were given land by individuals.
Okay.
Government never bought. So if you go by that, I will ask you, you come from Luwero, all that land, all those roads you have used up to Kampala, do they belong to your father? It's just as logical as that. So the moment you realize that you come from maybe, let me say, Gulu or Soga or Mbarara, and you have reached Kampala, you have not used your father's land.
Okay.
People surrendered this land to create roads. So when there is this called a communal establishment like a church, so in your former father's land, you go slow on it. Your father died when it was there. So why are you changing the status quo?
Okay.
Hey, all of us.
But I'm now the owner.
Hey, regardless whether you have the chapel there, the church is there, and the hospital is there, and it's for government.
It has now become mine. I am the one to stay. I don't want this.
That's where I brought in the issue of being evil and buried.
Oh.
When your father was alive, the church or hospital existed, or the school. He never tampered with it. So for you, who never contributed the purchase of this land, where do you find a problem? It's not you who brought them, apart from greed driving you there.
You're calling it greed on my own property.
It be yours. Your father gave it away. That's why I told you that whatever gift you gave out during your lifetime, it can't be part of the will. So your father died, much as he died without a will, while this establishment is there. After his death, why do you want to take it away? Hey, you should have done it in the presence of your father, and you see the reaction of your father or your mother.
By the time he was still alive, it is his property. Then he has died and they have read the will.
It is not his. The fact that your father has allowed that establishment to be there, school, church, mosque, whatsoever, hospital, has given it away.
So keep her also.
He also keep her away. Respect it. Yeah, so the issue is I'll go back to the family upbringing. If your father respected so and so, that this is the boundary. Okay? Now, how come that after his death you are saying there is a mistake?
He gave us little and the church has
It is little, yes.
the church has a lot.
That was the wisdom of your father. Also work for yours. That was the wisdom of your father.
In this generation.
Yes, this generation.
How does someone work for theirs?
Yes, you work. How did your father get? So the issue is, I will go back to the will.
Okay.
Whatever was given out when you are living, you cannot again put it in the will. So whether there is a will or not, whatever your father has given out, and he watched by his own eyes, taking the place, he leave it the way he left it.
Okay.
But maybe if there are no boundaries, you call these people and say, now, church, school, most your organization, your father brought you, my father brought you here. Come and we negotiate and where you pass. Because my father never left the boundary. But if the father left the boundaries, just respect, have respect for your father's decision, whether they were wrong or not. That's why the Bible says, honor your father and the mother. They did not say honor your father and the mother as long as they are alive. When they are dead, don't honor them. Yeah, respect them. Whatever they did, the decisions they made when they are still alive, respect them. Yes, respect them.
Okay. So your last words to our viewers.
My last word to our viewers, Ugandan, let us keep peace, let us be hardworking, let us have an operating standard that I will say the operating standard should be what is your belief, what drives you to avoid the conflict.
Chichokiririzamu.
Now not just to live life anyhow. That for you have no speed governor in you. It's like everything you see, either beautiful or good, it should belong to you. It is good. You just say, God, I appreciate that thing is good.
But doesn't the Bible talk about admiring?
Admiring is not good, but owning what is not yours is bad. If I admire your character, I want to. If like the way you are my friend, I admire certain qualities in you. You come and ask you, how come that you are calm like this? Me am a hyper. Can you help me to overcome this and that? A little bit, I become like you. You will tell me your secrets. It could be any but you can still give me something to help my life.
Okay.
So let us work hard. Where things fail, go back to God and ask. I've tried to work hard, but things are failing. But also the problem is comparison.
Okay.
How come so and so is prospering more than him, but you don't know his or her income. You don't know how he's getting.
We are not equal.
We can never be equal. So at the end of the day, let us try to put on this character that is resilient, believe in what is right, and beyond that thing, if you are doing something, do it well in the best way. Love your work.
Okay.
Whether it is generating a lot of income or small income, love your work like the way you are loving your office here. You put there your effort, regardless of the small income it's giving you. Be comfortable with it at home. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be buried with all your possession. But if you have left some life touched,
okay,
it is very important.
Well, tweyanziza nnyo tweyanzeege ye munnamateeka Council Richard Kumbuga okuva mu
Kumbuga and Company Advocate
Entinda na Jim Mall
last floor.
Omusanga ng'olina omusango gwonna gw'oyagala akuyambeko, agambye tafaayo buli musango agukolako.
Naye awo kyokoze oli ku advertising. Ate ffe tebatukkiriza ku advertising. Kyokoze oli ku advertising.
Nze kamberekereze basibo ne banyabo paka nga tuzzeemu, naye Katonda kuuma maaso moja.
Amiina.
JBS TV, Community First.